The other good news is because we did a part 2 today, now we have more to talk about, not just the questions, but we can also discuss a little bit about the new episode that just came out because, man, I, I'm going to say, first of all, let me get two things out of the way first. One is I know that probably one of the most common questions that people have is where is the dub? Why is there not an English dub? Let me be the first to say I am right there with you. And while I do not know, I have no knowledge regarding why a dub has not already been prepared. I am just as frustrated because, especially during season 3, the fact that the English dub was 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks behind the Japanese, really bummed me out because it felt like by the time the episode with my voice on it came out, everyone had already moved on to the new episode. So it didn't really get much traction. It didn't get a lot of attention, which I understand. And I was so happy that season 4 was a literal simuldub. So I am hoping, one, that assuming the dub comes back, which I would be extremely surprised if it doesn't, that they will retroactively aim to catch up. So, like, maybe the first 2 episodes, it seems like at this pace would probably be behind, but maybe by episode 3, we're all caught up. That is my hope. I am going to speak as though the dub is returning, as if I'm coming back for it, even though I don't know and would not be allowed to speak on it. So please do not take anything I say today as, oh, it's proof that the dub is back. It's proof that he's coming back. I am just so confident, based on how well this show has done, that the dub will come back, that I'm going to be talking in present tense as if it has. So please don't misunderstand my wording there. I just don't want to get anyone in trouble. I will be extremely surprised if the dub does not come back. It's just a question of when, and I'm not part of that process, so I do not know. As in, I'm not a part of determining what the timeline is for that sort of thing. The second thing that I want to get out of the way before we do any questions or discuss the episode is because I am seeing a number of people in chat going, the episode was good except for the Melee backstory slop. And I want to counter that. I think I'm going to win some of you over, and I think I'm going to lose some of you. But I actually think it was very important that we started off this core with getting the Melee backstory out of the way. And I know some people are going to go, but we already got backstory. We already got an entire part of an episode where we looked at the book in the archive. Yes, but we only looked at it from a narrator's perspective, explaining what happened to make Melee the way that they are. We did not explore how Melee herself felt about that. And we've done it with every other character. We understand Amelia's motivations. We understand Anastasia's motivations. We understand Foxidna's motivations. We understand Julius. We understand Julius's motivations, but we didn't yet understand how Melee felt about everything that had happened to her. And the reason why that's important is, first of all, she is a character who has spent her entire life being ignored by everybody except for Elsa. And that is so important because she is perhaps the character who most needs to be listened to and understood. Think about a time when you had so much going on in your life and you just wished that somebody would ask, how have things been with you? What's been going on? Because you wanted to share it. Or worse, if you are someone who has dealt with so much shit in your life that no one has asked about, that you have now reached a mentality where you went, I'm not supposed to be allowed to share. I'm supposed to just internalize all this and deal with it myself, and because that's how my life has always been. And that's what was happening with Melee, where she's like, no one has ever been allowed to care. I've had to kill everyone who's had to get close to me. As Subaru says, murder is a habit. That is your solution to everything that you don't understand. And if we don't understand Melee, we will fear Melee. If she's still with the group as they work through the tower, and we still don't know anything besides her backstory, all that we're going to be left with is, okay, so we know that she's an assassin and that she was trained by Elsa. And I want to bring up further, all the way getting to this tower, Melee has only been used as an accessory to help them. Subaru's entire thing was, hey, we can't get to this tower safely unless we have you to divert the monsters. Can you be a favor for us? Can you be a tool for us to use? And it surprised him that Melee was like, yeah, sure, why not? Instead of like being offended by that. But that means up until this point, she's only ever been a tool for them to use to make progress. She has not been an actual member of the group. So this episode is our chance to go, hey, you matter just as much as everybody else. So I do not agree with people saying this is Melee slop, because if the same reason The same reason season 3 was so good was because we spent so much of season 2 building up this understanding of everyone else besides Subaru, so that when everyone had their climactic fight, their climactic character arc moment in season 3, we were all going, fuck yeah, let's go Anastasia, let's go Amelia, let's go Julius. And if you deny Melee that same chance, then you've lost the sauce of what made season 3 so great and made season 4 so impactful, when Subaru lost his memory of why everyone cares about him. And that's my tea before we start this off.
Yeah, that was great. I haven't watched the episode yet, but
yeah, I haven't watched it yet either.
Sorry.
So
that's like, I mean, I know what happened,
it's
but
okay. It's okay.
that is like when truly Melee is adopted as Subaru's daughter, I would say. So it's very exciting.
Oh, another one, huh?
Another one, right?
My bad with the spoilers. Anyways, Sean.
It's okay.
Wait, Ren,
let me go ahead and share.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and share the slides real quick.
Okay,
I was just waiting for Sean to get done. I think we
Sorry,
left off.
I had to
I'm
get that
pretty
out of
sure.
the way, or else I
No, dude. I wasn't going to interrupt you. I was just going to let you go. Go as long as you want.
I mean,
man.
we technically weren't supposed to start until 9 o'clock, so that was my pre-roll. You know, that was my. It's not the actual Q&A yet, so I have free reign to say whatever I want to say.
That sounds good to me. All right. Well, we left off last time on question 8, so we'll move on to question 9 this time. And if you're ready, we can just go ahead and get started.
Yes, let's go ahead.
So what's your favorite Subaru line that you've ever said across all 4 seasons?
This is the quote that I love writing.
Season 4, part 1.
Yes. I'll start with the second place and then move on to the first place. The second place one that I love writing on Prince is, I'll let you see my flaws, my weakness, but I'll never let you see me giving up. Because I know that I'm not a perfect person, and I know that I will make mistakes. And there's things in past dub episodes, especially season 2, that I've been like, man, I wish I could have gone back and done that. But part of having confidence as a person is recognizing that you won't be perfect, but one, being willing to take accountability for the things that you could be better on, but two, not allowing yourself to give up just because of the times that you mess up. Being stubborn both works for me and against me. Being as stubborn as I am and Subaru being as stubborn as he is can cause him to butt heads. It can cause me to rub on people the wrong way at times. But it also means that I am capable of getting through things that a lot of folks would get worn out on. I will say, for example, I think I might have mentioned this on Monday. I'm doing this interview after 10 weekends in a row of traveling to conventions, and I have 12 or 13 more to do in a row before Thanksgiving break. I've already had people say, how the hell do you do it? How do you find the energy for it? And I'll admit it has been very difficult at times to maintain my voice and make it all work out. But at the same time, it's helping my wife pay for her master's degree. It's helping a close friend of mine afford their life right now when they've been jobless for over 9 months. It's allowing me to build a safety net for myself. It's allowing me to interact. I have had so many people at different smaller cons go, I couldn't believe that you came to this event because we get nothing up here. And I went, that's precisely why I wanted to come to this event, is because I don't want big hubs like Los Angeles or New York or the major cities in Texas to be the only ones that get guests that people want to see. Sometimes the most passionate people are up in the northern peninsula of Michigan. Sometimes they're in a small suburb in Maine. Sometimes they're in West Virginia. And they are always looking from afar and seeing all these cool events and going, man, our city's never cool enough to get something like this. So I love getting to go to those cities and have people go, I'm so excited. I get to meet someone that I've always wanted to see. And so that's what keeps me going. It's like, hey, I'm not always going to be perfect. I'm not always going to be even good or great, but I am never going to let you see me faltering and saying I'm not good enough or this isn't worth it, because to someone it is. And I want to show those people that I recognize it and that it matters to me. Anyway, that was the second place. My first place one is, I guess, as long as I have life, all I can do is fight with all my might. A lot of people don't know this, but my mom passed away at around age 40, which is less than a decade from me hitting it myself at this point. That's right. I've experienced twink death. I'm entering dad bod era at this point. So my mom passed away when I was early on in high school, and it is something I see so much suffering going on in the world today between people in power who abuse it, or even people within my industry who unfortunately use the influence that they have on their fans for inappropriate purposes, and it fills me with a kind of anger of like. How is it that so many people who actively work to make the world a worse place are allowed to persist and exist for as long as they do? And if that's the case, why would someone like me, who I would consider myself to be a good person, I will take the risk of being egotistical and say I think I try my best to be a good person. So if that is true, why the hell would I let someone who is not being a good person last longer than me? So whether it's out of personal determination or whether it's out of spite, I like the line, as long as I have life, all I can do is fight with all my might, because as long as I have it, God damn it, I'm not going to give it up. I'm not going to let people take it away from me. I think about all the life that my mom didn't get to have. And I think to myself, the least that I can do is live as long as I can to do the things that she would have been doing if she was still alive. Because she really wanted to be an actor when she was still around. And I don't know. I don't know how true spiritualism or religion is, but if she has a chance to be watching what I'm doing, then I hope that she's really enjoying what she's seeing.
Wow.
I
Yeah. That
you're
there's
gonna
a
make me cry,
lot of
dude.
like heavy hitting things there.
Well, good, because I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
man.
to borrow
Wow.
from that for the beginning of the new episode. I'm
I
not
gotta
gonna
like,
spoil anything, but if
oh.
if episode 11 was where things started neutral and then got more and more intense as it went on, this episode feels like it starts right off the bat with intense and then
Mhm.
mellows out as it goes on. So I gotta hit the ground running on this if I come back.
Yeah.
Channel that energy. All right, you want to move on to the next one, historian?
Sure.
We got here.
Have you ever spoken with Tape? If so, what is your impression of him?
I have not had the chance to speak with Tape yet,
Aw.
but I admire him a lot. Like I mentioned on Monday, when I found about the Ifruits, and especially when I read about the sloth Ifruit, I'm like, this man does not mess around. He is so in love with his creation that not only is he writing the main story, he is writing all the side stories of let's go this route. If this is the decision that he had made at this pivotal moment, how would that have panned out? I felt the same thing. If there's anyone in chat who is a fan of a series called Etrian Odyssey, I recently streamed a full playthrough of the fourth game in the series, Etrian Odyssey 4 Legends of the Titan. And in the interest of making something unique, I wrote about 70,000 words of an original B-side plot and story arc to go with my playthrough of the game. And the reason why this is relevant is because that required writing backstories, character arc developments, and interactions for every single member of the party that I used through the playthrough. Think of like Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, right? So it's like you've got the main game and its plot, but then I have written my own justification and story for every single member of the party. And where that's relevant is because the more I wrote about these characters, the more I wanted to write about these characters. I would be like, okay, I don't understand this character at first. I'm gonna think of what I'm gonna do with them, and then the more I would write their cutscene, the more I would go, oh my god, of course it would turn out this way. Of course this is how this character would act. And then there was even a character where. At one point, I thought it was going to be the toughest character to write because I felt like I didn't understand them at all. And by the end of the playthrough, I had written an entirely separate additional cutscene specifically for that character because I understood them so well compared to the rest of the party that I was like, oh, I need to include this or else we're going to be missing like a key aspect of them. So I look at Tape and I go, I understand you, man. I understand having such a solid idea of the story that you want to tell that you feel inspired to write even more than what people will get to see because to you, it's real. To the characters, it's real. So I do hope I get to speak to them someday. I feel like I won't get to tell them the same story that I just told all of you, but I don't know. In my heart, I recognize what it's like to be a creator and to go, I love these characters so much that I want to follow them on more adventures than just the main story.
It's okay. You just have to learn all of that in Japanese, and then you can tell it to him directly the next time you see him.
Well, we got Spanish and French, as Chad already found out.
Yeah.
So what's one more, you know?
All right. Next question. We've got so I'm an aspiring voice actor. Do you have any advice or suggestions for improving acting and eventually becoming a professional in the industry?
So this is the most common question that I get, and this is a very, very truncated answer. So it's going to be 2 resource sites and a little bit of a dip into a panel that I actually give. The 2 sites that I recommend to people are iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. It is literally called that. iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. That is an informational website by D. Bradley Baker, who is the most prolific creature voice actor of our time. Literally like the Mel Blanc of creature voice acting. I recommend everyone read that cover to cover, because if you retain even just half of it, you will be coming in with a better foundation of knowledge than most people getting into the craft. The other one I recommend is the Voice Acting Club. It did used to be a forum back in the aughts, but now it is very much a Discord community. And I recommend it because this is not a lone wolf career. Part of why, for example, ReZero is so respected is because people love the interactions between the characters. I know that Subaru takes up a lot of screen time, but he doesn't as much as he used to. Season 3 especially was about everyone else, not just him. And Season 4 especially focuses on everyone, because while the main story is about the fact that Subaru lost his memories, that is a key, it's a core that allows us to go, what has he done that has made everyone care about him so much? Why are they so willing to help him? So it's secretly about everyone else once again. And being able to play off of my castmates is so important. It's so important. Many of the scenes that you all like more than anything else happened because I was not the first to record, and that means I got to react to what the other characters were doing and help follow and match the energy that was already established for the scene. So I recommend getting involved in communities like Voice Acting Club, because you want to begin to network with your future peers and colleagues. Networking, I don't even like as a phrase, because I think it's a fancy white-collar business term for making friends. You're not networking with people. You are sharing a passion with like-minded individuals who also care about that particular hobby or topic. And that's why you share resources. That's why you listen to each other's performances. That's why you offer feedback. Networking is just a fancy $100 word for making friends on a similar topic. That's all it is. So those are the 2 resource sites. The main thing that I recommend to people about improving voice acting is one of the first pieces of advice that I give is don't do voiceover. And they're like, whoa, what do you mean by that? And I say, my advice for people getting into voice acting is don't do voice acting, because the auditions are never paid. The days don't have defined hours. I had to be up at 6 a.m. this morning to do a session in order to be done in time to do this interview. Then I have a 5:30 to 7:30 and an 8 to 10. And then I immediately that's PM, not AM. And then I immediately have to leave to go to the airport to fly to my convention. I have no time to breathe today. But the reason I do it is because I can't not do it. So if my response to you is don't do voiceover, and your answer is cool, gonna do it anyway, that's the mentality that you need to have in order to find success in the career. It's that stubbornness that I was talking about. And then there is a panel that I host called Hire Me, because I have found that a lot of success in voiceover isn't specifically tied to the voice acting aspect. Yes, being able to give a believable performance is important, but it is not just me walking into an empty booth and saying a bunch of lines and then calling it a day. I have to work with an engineer. I have to work with a client. I have to work with a director. And I find that being a professional person is way more valuable. It's not the be all end all, but it is just as, if not more valuable than being a good voice actor. So each of the letters in my panel for Hire Me represent a quality of someone that I find tends to be successful. And that is helpful, independent, responsible, exemplary, malleable, and empathetic. And if you're interested in learning more, then I would definitely get me invited to one of your cons and request that I give that panel, because it's a whole hour-long process. I could talk on it on its own. But the idea is If you show up on time, if you listen, if you do the work, if you're able to be adaptable to the changes they want you to make, if you can be consistent, if you are a good person to work with, they will find a reason to continue working with you, even if you're not the best person in the room. I'm going to say this right now. I am not the only person who can voice Subaru Natsuki. I think I'm a really good choice. I hope a lot of you feel the same way, but I'm not going to be so vain as to pretend that nobody else in the world could give a good performance. However, I also know I love this role. I put in the work. I show up on time. I'm communicative with the client. And sometimes we even finish the sessions early. And that is why they like bringing me back again and again and again. There was a 2-hour session last night from 8 to 10 p.m. We were done at 8:37 p.m. because we just sailed through all of those lines. And what that meant was the client got to be done with their night early. They weren't all the way up until 10 p.m. The director or the engineer got to go home way earlier than they thought they would be able to. And that made everyone way happier, even though it was just for incidental roles. But the next time that the client needs to cast more incidental roles for a project, whether it's the same one or a different one, there's a really good chance they're going to just hire me, even if they haven't heard an audition from me, because they're going to go, the last time we brought him in, he killed it. He got it done super early, and everyone got to go home and have extra time with their family. Being desirable is just as valuable as being a good voice actor. And that's about all I can share without going into a whole hour-long diatribe.
Wow, those are very important advice.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
that's important for anybody who wants to become a voice actor. Just be amicable. That's the simple part of it, but obviously,
You can
And
look at
even
it the
outside of voice
reverse.
acting.
I'm sure everyone in this chat can think of at least one celebrity or one voice actor or one somebody who is really, really good at what they do, possibly the only one who can do what they do, who yet doesn't work very much nowadays because it turns out they're an asshole or they're difficult to work with. We see it on the news all the time. So if you don't believe me in the way I described it, think about it in the opposite way. If you are someone people hate working with and there's 1,000 other options, why would they go with you?
yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. Alrighty, historian, you're up next on question number 12.
Do you plan on doing more re do you plan on doing more voice acting for fan-made ReZero creations?
I can neither confirm nor deny, and that's not because there's things in progress that I'm not allowed to talk about. It is because the blessing and the curse of being neurodivergent like myself is that a lot of things are based on inspiration and passion. It is just as easy for me to go, "Oh my god, I love this. This is all I can focus on right now," as it is for me to go, "I am so distracted right now and I have zero interest in this. I have zero time for this." Um, there's times when people, send me requests of like, can you do an email or a birthday shout out for, my friend or my sister or something like that. And I wish I could do every single one, but there are times when I'm like, I do not have the energy for this. I'm really sorry. I just can't. I have to focus on other things. So how that follows up into, fan made creations is I hate saying this, sometimes it depends on pure luck and timing. There are times when someone happens to catch me during a week that I have nothing else going on or I actually have some free time and they show me the thing that they're working on and I'm like, hey, you know what? This is only going to take about 10, 15 minutes to record. Sure, why not? Or in the case of the animatic, which I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about, I saw that animatic and went, okay, I know that this is a scene that people are really looking forward to. And I also really see the dedication and the passion that's going into this right now. So it was for both reasons. It was because I can see they're putting real work into it, and because I know I can personally benefit from getting a trial run of this scene before it actually happens in the anime. I think it's within my interest to do this because I can reward them and reward myself. And I would like to think it showcased itself in my actual performance of season 4, episode 11. So there you go.
Yeah,
But
it
there
was
was
great.
there's every bit the chance that they had sent it during a week when I was absolutely rock solid busy and I didn't even get a chance to look at the email, or I did see it and I went, oh my God, I wish I could do this. I just don't have the energy for it. So my personal answer is I am always open to being inspired. I do not know when that inspiration happens, and I don't know how much I'm able to give to it. But I love that people are so passionate about the show, and please do not take it personally if I am not able to directly contribute to your thing, because amidst all of that, I also have to figure out how much of a risk am I taking by choosing to take part in this. For the most part, the only folks that have been extremely straightforward and strict about not doing unofficial stuff has been Nintendo regarding Breath of the Wild, Rivali stuff. I mean, I don't, this
That
isn't
makes
like,
perfect
I'm not
Sounds like
sense, though.
Nintendo.
being litigated. They're very obvious about it. But I do have to be considerate of the fact that I'm doing stuff with a character that is not mine to own. So I do want to be respectful of it. And that's also why I tend to avoid saying stuff as Subaru that's just straight up memes. I do love memes. I love memes as much as everybody else, but I would rather do stuff that's tied to the actual show and is respectful towards the character versus something that could be misconstrued, or it turns out that the meme was made by someone who's extremely racist, and now there's that association. Um, I. I feel like I might jump the gun on one of these answers, but this gives me a good segue into something. I know that people love having me say "Happy Birthday, Daniel." I would have loved doing that quote and doing that meme if it wasn't for the fact that it's AI slop. I'm sorry. As soon as I learned that it was originally created by, I think it was some parent did an AI production for their son's birthday, and of course that's where the meme came in, is because it was so off base. I immediately stopped caring. I'm like, I don't want to reward this. I don't want to give it credit. I don't want to validate it. I don't think the same is true of Aura Monster. I think Aura Monster was. Feel free to correct me, but I believe that was just kind of a development of the stairs scene, maybe a little bit influenced by it. But Aura Monster was more of a community thing, right?
Yeah, it was animated. It was
Yeah,
an
I believe
animated
so.
light novel illustration,
Okay,
which people just
so
called Aura
I
Monster.
love that. I love that because that is an adaptation of something that exists within the show itself. I love Aura Monster for that reason. And that for that same reason is why I hate Happy Birthday Daniel, because there was no originality, there was no creativity. It was someone stealing from or having content generated that happened to go awry and everyone making fun of it. But if we give attention to it, then if I give attention to it, then that may inspire people to make other AI slop and then ask me to voice that for real. And I have zero interest in that.
Yeah, I think that's entirely fair. I think everybody, especially nowadays, is super sketched out on anything AI related. I know I have to worry about that when creating content because all of a sudden, oh, I accidentally pulled an AI image for one of my videos.
Yeah.
Oh, you use AI? What's
I
the matter with you?
I also look at it being as consistency. I am very, very vocal on social media about my hatred of AI and my desire for voiceover to have industry protections against AI. So if I'm speaking so loudly against AI and voiceover, but then I'm apparently supporting AI generation in imagery and memery, then what does that say about me? That makes me a hypocrite because I'm like, oh, I only care about AI when it's affecting my job and my industry. And I need to think about artists in other creative fields as well.
Yeah, and that you're
Makes sense.
entirely
Yeah.
valid for that. 100%. Okay. Well, moving on to the next question. If you were in Subaru's position, would you forgive the characters who murdered or harmed you in previous loops?
See, that's why Maylee's episode is so important. I can't spoil it. I can't fucking spoil it. Fucking A. Would I sorry, it's would I forgive or
Would you forgive the characters who murdered or harmed you? Because obviously, pretty much every most of the characters have killed Subaru in some way at this point.
Yeah.
man. This is so difficult because I want to answer truthfully, but I'm scared about it feeling like I'm rizzing myself up too much. I want to say yes because the reason why is because I think of murder is serious. Like harming and murdering someone is definitely a step higher than being terse towards someone or removing someone from an event or something like that. But to put myself in a little bit of a vulnerable spot, there was an event that several years ago, about 6, 7 years ago, I was temporarily unable to participate in. And the reason why was because I lost so much aura with everybody. Listen, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, okay?
Okay, everybody has their ticks.
Everyone has their ticks. Anyway, so everyone gets one. The reason why I had been removed from this event was because there had been concerns raised. I mean, they ended up not being true, but someone had raised concerns about me that the volunteer event had to act on as a volunteer event. So even if they did not believe that what was being said about me was true, they still had to act protectively because they had so many sponsors that could pull out if they were like, if you imagine yourself as someone who's handling a lot of volunteer money and you are presented with a possible situation that you can either cut it, snip it at the bud or take a risk, it is safer to just remove that thing and be wrong than to let that thing stay in and be wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So even though it was very heartbreaking, I understood why that event did what they had to do, even though it hurt me personally, because they had a reason. They had to look out for themselves. They had to consider not only themselves, but their sponsors. And in the end, I eventually was able to go back to that event. I actually got to participate and be a volunteer for them this year. So it took some time, but that damage was repaired, and so I definitely forgave them for that. Another example is there's someone very close in my life where our relationship is very strained right now. But I also understand that they are going through something they have never had to deal with before. This is someone who is incredibly smart, who was a valedictorian at their college that they graduated from, perfect GPA, who is extremely driven, extremely intelligent, very capable. And as far as I know right now, they have almost gone an entire year without any work, right after moving out to a different state. They saved up their money, they did everything correctly, they earned the job that they got, and then that job just evaporated a couple months into them moving out to a different state. Wasn't their fault, and all of a sudden they can't find work. And they are struggling. They are struggling and slowly losing everything. And it led to a lot of tension in our relationship with each other because everything around them was disappearing all of a sudden. They were freaking out and it caused them to take it out on me sometimes. And that was also really painful. But I understand how that feels. So even though I'm like, this did harm me, even though I do understand this was tough, I have to act around this a certain way. I do not see them as a bad person. I do not see them as a villain because I could not imagine if I was in their situation. I am so, so lucky to have a career that has looked after me for almost 20 years. And meanwhile, here's someone who has gone almost an entire 12 months without any reliable source of income, despite being one of the most proactive people I have ever known. So that using those as inspiration, I don't know how long it would take. For some people, it only took a couple months. For some people, it took 7 years. But I would like to believe that eventually, if I could understand why they are the way that they are, I would, at the very least, if not be able to reconcile with them and go, now that I understand, I want to get to know you more. At the very least, I could say, okay, this person is probably not safe for me. I probably shouldn't interact with them, but at least I know why. Instead of going, well, I don't get this and I'm uncomfortable, so forget about it. I don't want to talk to them anymore. Because I'm sure with anyone, if you just cut things off because you don't know, you're gonna have those what ifs in your head. But at least if you have to step away from something and you understand why, it gives you that closure that you need to go, look, this sucks. I wish it didn't suck, but at least I can move on with my life.
I mean, hey, like you said, you've gone through situations with all kinds of people that you that is similar to Subaru's situation where you've had a strained relationship and you've had to kind of get past that and do your best to figure out what's going on there. And I feel like Subaru has to do that pretty much 90% of the time. So
Yep.
I think that's entirely a fair answer. We can move on to the next one. Historian, you are up.
You've already kind of answered this question, but I mean, we could. Should we just keep? Should we answer it again? But
I mean,
Do we want to go
quickly. Yeah,
on?
go ahead. Go ahead.
how far have you read the light novel / web novel for ReZero?
I haven't. I have no aura. I'm sorry, chat. I had a desire to read the light novel, the web novel. I have a couple issues of the manga sitting right next to me here on the shelf, and I think a couple issues of the light novel because I started collecting it for a while until I learned that the store that I was purchasing it from charged you separate shipping on every single volume. They didn't, if you ordered
Wow.
3 or 4 books at the same time, they didn't ship them together in a single box. They charged you $6 shipping for every single book. And I thought that was
that's
bullshit.
ridiculous.
That is
So
crazy.
I'm not going to name the
Yeah, what
store
the
because
hell?
I'm sure a lot of people know who I'm talking about. But that kind of stopped me from ordering more. So if anyone has recommendations on where I can order more of the volumes, that would be great. So my plan was to eventually sit down and make time for it, but first world problems. My career took off, and all of a sudden I had no free time to myself. Let me put it this way, y'all. When I say I have no free time, I mean when I finally get around to playing a new game on my Switch 2, it's usually an indie game that released 5 to 6 years ago that's now 80% off. So I have such a bad backlog. I think it has worked out for me because, as I mentioned on Monday, I do enjoy when there are major events that I just get to experience as they happen in the anime. I do think if I had known about, like, I knew coming up about the speech scene in season 3 because people wouldn't shut up about it coming up to me at cons at the end of season 2. But I think if I had known the entire content of what he had said and what happened, I think I would have ended up overperforming it in the booth when it was time to do it versus experiencing it raw and going, I'm so nervous about this. What do? I feel unprepared. Oh, wait, that's literally how Subaru feels. Let's feed into that. And I think that led to a much more authentic performance. So,
I mean, that's entirely fair.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean, I haven't read any of the light novel either, so I'm here interviewing you. Neither of us have read the light novel. Historia is the only one that's way ahead of us.
Chat is confusing me so much. I have no idea now if LARP is good or bad. I assume it's bad because it means you're not an actual fan. You're not, you think that you know a thing or that you're involved, but you're just putting on a facade. But
people just throw it out for anything.
It
doesn't mean anything anymore.
If they're saying W LARPs, take that as a good thing.
Okay, I'm understanding now. I see where it's both sides because I had always seen LARP being used as, oh, you're not actually it, you're just pretending to be it. But now I'm also understanding LARP can be, oh, you're so into it that even though you're not actually the character, that doesn't stop you from embodying it. So I get it now.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
It bounces back and forth. I swear that the definition of LARP like suddenly changes every other day. So I wouldn't
people
even
just like
worry
throw
about
it
it.
out.
This is
For anything.
Gone. It's one version of LARP going, you're a LARPer, and then the other LARP just flips it around and pins them against the wall and goes, no, I'm a LARPer. Like.
Alrighty, well, on to question number 15. Which royal candidate and camp are your favorite, and which candidate, camp, and knight do you think are total bums?
Are total bums? All right, bring up the question. Like, make it bigger so I can see it real
Oh,
quick.
is the
Sorry.
Oh, here. Let me
Okay, yes.
Is it not up?
I asked you to do. Oh wait, I could just do it on my end. Never mind. Shut up. All right.
I was
Question
gonna say, I'm
15.
pretty sure I can't do that.
Yeah, it's because I have to close the chat to do it. Which royal candidate and camp are your favorite, and which candidate, camp, and knight do you think are total bums? Okay. I'm so glad we got to see a new PV of them recently, but I am sick and tired of my girl Cruciate not getting more time on screen. All right, they need to come back.
So fair.
They need to come back. I.
It's gonna be a while.
She's so cool. She's
gonna be a
so
while.
freaking cool. Okay. When she throws the wind blade, like
Historian's sitting over here going, "Oh, I know when she's coming back. It's not for a while."
I know, but being able to like look through people's lies, like she's got that confidence. I love a woman who can kick my goddamn ass. All right, what is it? It was someone who's like, I love a woman who I think will just fucking kill me. I mean, just really,
It's
just put my head, just fucking decapitate me, man. Like, no. So I feel like I don't know very much about her camp, but I really like her as a character, and I'm so I know she's gonna pull through. I know she's gonna pull through, and I know she's gonna get some cool fucking ability, and I can't wait to see it. and I hope she and Subaru get to spar for real. Like, this is chat. Don't tell me if this actually happens. Please do not spoil it for me. But if Subaru had the whole arc where he was not really fighting against Wilhelm and was just faking it so that he would have an excuse to say that he tried, which was a whole big point. I want there to be a character arc callback where he and Cruce post Dragon Blood spar off again, and this time it's for fucking real, and she puts him through his paces, and I want to see that happen between them. I want them to bond from crossing their swords in the gayest way possible. So, as for camp that I think is doo-doo. As for camp,
You don't
so
have to say
we
like
have
doo-doo, but like, which one do you like the least?
which one do I like the least? So we have using the poster children as the identifiers. We have Cruce, we have Amelia, we have Felt, and we have Anastasia. Is that correct?
Yeah. And Priscilla.
Oh, you know what? You know what my answer is?
Priscilla.
The girl from the game, from Prophecy of the Throne. Because we've like barely got a single game out of it.
Yeah, I didn't.
What was her name? Melty. Yeah. I mean, it was a great game, but like, what was that all about, man?
To be completely honest, I didn't even know ReZero had any games.
I don't want to
That's
spoil
me.
anything, but she's
That's how forgettable it was. Most people don't even know that it exists. So like, either bring her back and make it relevant, or stop talking about it. Like, what was that about? So,
I mean, she is in the story, in the main story, but it's gonna be a long time from now. But it's not like exactly like the game.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought it was just a non-canonical like interlude.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but you'll see her arc or like season 7, 8. I don't know,
Right?
but you're also gonna have really good cruise scenes. So
I mean, I assume they fight and she gets hurt, because I hear my friends talking nonstop about melty blood. So
I'm not fully I'm like
anyway.
2 chapters behind, but we're still at the beginning of the arc.
If I had to pick one from the main series, I think it would be Felt, but that's only because I feel like I don't know. She is where other characters like Meili were for a while, where it's like, I know that she's sassy, I know that she doesn't want to be part of this camp, but I don't know why. And when I don't know the reason why, it's hard to be invested in it. So I hope that they will explain more, because I like her as a character, but she hasn't really offered much as a camp candidate. And unless they're going to explore that, again, I'm going to focus on other stuff.
Entirely fair. Alrighty, on to question number 16.
I say take Felt out of the running and put Otto in her dress and make him the candidate. He deserves to be the
It's gonna
princess.
clear the entire role selection. All right,
Yeah, just immediately.
question 16. Have you read any of the If routes? If so, which one is your
Yes.
favorite?
Yes, I have to go back and watch them, but I will say I have watched the videos that Echidna has done, because they are so good, and because I contributed to one. You'll know which one if you listen to it. I need to go back. I've seen the one, I've seen all of them up through the sloth route. So I saw the one about, if he dies a million times
Agreed.
early on, like it never gets
Oh.
past the first fight with Elsa.
Pride.
I think, is that Wrath or Pride?
It's Pride.
I think it's Pride. I have seen the one with I'm trying to now I'm losing it. Now I'm being called on it. I've seen, what's the second one? The Echidna one, the Greed route.
Mhm.
And I've seen most of the Sloth route. I need to go back because I don't remember much about the others. Yes. What is the one where he ends up with white hair? Is that Greed route?
Gluttony.
Gluttony.
So
That's the
it's
Gluttony.
based
That's
off
the
Arc
one that people are
6.
talking about with that new figure that came out recently. Yes, Gluttony. So I don't know about Gluttony. I need to read up on that. I think I need to go back to the If route, the Sloth route, because I didn't read all of it, but I was so freaking invested. And the only reason I didn't finish was because of how crazy busy life got. And I feel like for completion's sake, I should attempt to read the Lust route.
It's very short, but we all forget about it for a good reason. It's really
right,
weird.
but I know chat's screaming no, but you have to understand mid in order to appreciate peak. You have to
He
understand.
gets it.
I think
He
Tape
gets it.
like removed it or deleted it. So
So maybe I should start with it and then be like, no, what chat? What is your recommendation? If you can't answer, don't read it at all. But if the choice is between dealing with Lust Root first and then seeing it only get better from there, but risking being so turned off that I don't follow up the rest, or reading Lust Root last and risking ending on a low note, but also I might get the chance to laugh at just how bad it is compared to everything else I read. Which order should I do it in? Oh, we're dividing the room here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people are saying first and last over and over and over again. Some people are saying get it out of the way because it's like really, really short. Some people are saying don't bother reading it at all.
Do a poll. That's right. Do a poll.
Can we do a
I can do a poll on Twitch.
How do we do this?
Twitch
Oh,
poll.
yeah, you can do a poll on Twitch. Yeah, run the Twitch poll, historian.
Yo, everyone hop on Twitch. We only have like 307 people. Make sure that people can only vote once. Don't do it to where they can spend more points. I want this to be an absurd democratic process.
I wish I could do a poll on TikTok Live because I got 400 people in here. Ooh.
First,
is there a way to do this?
Second. So just the two options are
I don't think so.
or last. So first and last are the two options in the poll, or should there be a third option?
First, last, and then don't read it at all.
No, don't do that. So it's read Lust first, read Lust last. I'm gonna do one of the two.
Year 212 is now following.
I put the poll for 1 minute. Let's see what everyone votes.
I can do a poll.
So anyway, yes, that is. Well, after the poll is done, we'll consider the question done.
Most people say first.
But I get it though. These are the people who came to project presentation day in school and were like, I'm gonna just get this. I'm gonna rip this Band-Aid off now, so I don't have to think about it the rest of the day. You know, because if you choose to present last, you're thinking about it while everyone else is presenting and working yourself into a frenzy. If you go first, you're done. Then you just get to sit down and zone out because you don't have to think about it anymore. This seems like a pretty clear winner, unless all the last people are waiting for the last moment to put their votes in.
See what I just figured out how to do a poll on TikTok Live. So we'll see what my TikTok guys have to say.
Imagine TikTok is the opposite.
It's just like completely different. Yeah.
Everyone says last.
Oh no, the votes are all rolling in. First is dominating.
All right. Fill me in on that when TikTok's finishes, but what's the next question?
The next question is, have you ever had a serious or emotional scene where you just couldn't stop laughing?
No.
No, really?
I hope this doesn't feel like a boring answer to people, but I often tell people where they're like, are there any really funny bloopers that have happened to you in the studio? And I'm a very nervous person. I am always so worried about coming off like I'm not paying attention, or that I don't care enough about what I'm working on, that I am less likely than most people to do bloopers because I'm so focused on doing it right. In the reason why I think this is still an interesting question is, like, for example, during the scene in season 1 where Subaru cries on Amelia's lap, I want you to imagine the process of recording, right? Because we're not doing, unfortunately back then, I didn't do all that in a single take. But I want you to imagine where I'm working myself up into tears and thinking about the words that I'm saying and how fearful I was and everything else. And I finish the take, and now I just have to stand there and wait and wait and wait, because they're putting it into the scene, they're adjusting it, they're moving it to the left and moving it to the right, they're shortening it, they're making sure it fits the lip flaps. I have to come in and do a pickup take so that they have some more stuff to use. And this whole time, you know, maybe that 1 or 2 lines was only 5 to 7 seconds, and I'm now waiting here for 2 to 3 minutes while they slot it in. And the whole time, my brain is going, okay, I need to stop crying, because crying is an excess of emotion. We're not meant to be constantly crying, because we can cry from anger, cry from happiness, cry from sadness, but the brain needs the body to be in homeostasis. So this whole time that my brain is trying to get me back to normal, I am forcing it back into a state of excess emotion because I need to be able to give an authentic performance. So by the time we were done with that session and I went home, it was 1:45 p.m. and I could not keep my eyes open. My eyelids were so heavy from the muscle being strained from crying so much and quivering and just, having my face be so tense. I had to take an afternoon nap because opening my eyelids felt like when you lift a 5-pound weight. I had to actively work to keep them open, and I was like, "This is not worth it. I'm gonna take a nap because I'm so physically exhausted." So it doesn't often lead to where I'm laughing about something. Part of why I connect with Subaru so much is that the things that he finds amusing, I find amusing. The things that he finds funny, I find funny. Or I would usually approach it from a comedic standpoint. So I do find a lot of agreement and kinship with the way he acts in the series, but it also means that there's not a lot of times where he does something I'm like, this is so stupid. I can't believe I'm doing this. So no, it doesn't happen to me a lot.
Makes
Alrighty,
sense.
well,
Yeah.
that actually is a little bit surprising to me. I feel like if I
Uh,
had to do like a super serious scene like that, I'd be like
right.
kind of struggling to like maintain the
To
seriousness of it.
to answer what Chad is saying, yes, I have napped on someone's lap before. And to bring Puck into the equation, I have fallen asleep on the belly of a cat before. So
All right, my TikTok poll ended, and we have a resounding 83% said to read it first.
okay, all right.
So there you
I guess
go
you know
on
what I'm
that.
doing during my flight overnight tonight.
Gonna read the last fruit. All righty, question number 18. Historian?
All right. From your experience, how different do you think voice acting is from film acting, and what are the differences in dubbing a Japanese anime like ReZero from voice acting in a English original series?
When you say English original, do you mean like Western animation or do you mean like a live action series?
Uh,
Yeah, like Western
yeah.
animated, like something that was created
Sure,
by a
sure.
studio in America, so you don't have to worry about
Well,
like matching the mouth.
yeah, to answer the first half of the question, film acting, while you first of all, we have to you have to memorize the lines for film acting. We have the scripts provided to us when we are performing in the booth, so that is a technical difference. Also, film acting is allowed to play around with angles and timing. A lot of very brave films may like focus on a character's face while they do nothing but just change their facial expression for a couple of seconds versus voice acting, at least for anime. I don't want to make it too generalized. Especially for dubbing, we often have to match the timing of the Japanese. In video games, especially, if a Japanese voice file is 6.5 seconds, I will often be told we can be half a second under or over, but we have to match the timing of the Japanese as closely as possible. In anime, if the lips are moving, I need to be talking. If the lips are not moving, I can't be talking. And there are times when we've had to adjust words, whether it's adding a syllable, removing a syllable, changing the order of the sentence in order to make it fit the flaps as closely as possible, which is really funny because, and I say this with love, if you go watch the Japanese version of ReZero, there are lots of times, especially in season 4, where they do not pay attention to the flaps at all compared to what is being said on the screen. And that is what we laugh about in the studio because they will so clearly not be very married to how close it is to the flaps in the Japanese. But God forbid we are not matching the flaps in the English dub. We will get roasted alive online for like, oh my God, are they even paying attention to what's happening on screen? So we find that really funny. But as for differences in dubbing a Japanese anime versus English original series, English original series, in my observation, focuses a lot more on comedic timing, on improvisational comedy, on snappy performances. I don't know if you've witnessed this, but stuff like Chowder, stuff like SpongeBob, stuff like Steven Universe. I mean, Steven Universe is more emotional, but it's a lot punchier than anime typically tends to be. Whereas I find a lot of anime tends to be, I'm not going to say Shakespearean, but characters like to talk about what's happening. So that I think that's my explanation. In Japanese anime, characters like to talk about what's happening. In English original series, characters like to react to what's happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Um,
makes
makes a lot of
sense.
sense actually.
so, and the reactions tend to be what make people laugh because it's like, oh yeah, that catches me off guard as well. And so I think that's why a lot of anime can be seen as very lore heavy, very exposition heavy, versus cartoons being funnier and punchier and more sudden, where a lot of it is more on the visual comedy and how that affects characters.
Hold on. That's right. You did Superboy Prime and Death Battle. So is that one of the situations that where it's an English kind of series and you have to focus on more comedic timing even in a death battle?
Well, with that, I think we're allowed to give our own timing. Hold on, I'm answering someone in chat. Uh, there we go. Anyway, with stuff like that where it's original animation, we tend to
Mhm.
have more flexibility. So it really is
Okay.
something where I will ask, what is the context you're going for? I'll ask, what's the emotional context that you're looking for? Um, because I want to make sure I match the intensity and the intent of the scene. But I don't have to do it within a specific time frame. So I can work with the
That
director
makes
more
more
closely
sense.
and
Yeah.
go, how do we meet the vision of what you're going for?
Alrighty. Well, moving on to question number 19. Does reading a scene in advance from the novel change how you approach it or how you voice that movement? And in general, would you recommend voice actors read the source material for the roles that they are
Well,
playing?
we definitely touched on that first half plenty of times in this
Yeah, we
interview.
definitely
Yeah.
did.
I think personally, I prefer experiencing it in the moment because I like understanding how I feel in that moment. I like reacting the way the character on screen reacts. And I'm also someone who tends to overthink in life in general. I'm sure a lot of us have had that moment where we plan for a social situation and we think of like 20 different ways that a conversation can go. And then, of course, as soon as we know which way it's going, we throw the other 19 out. So we went through all that mental work for nothing. Um, I think it's also because part of it is out of necessity, where I have not had the chance to do a lot of research for a lot of things, and I feel like it would take even more time out of my day. So I don't know if it's the most efficient way that I'm doing it, but I know that's how I've made it work for myself. So now I'm kind of married to that method. In general, I would say figure out what works for you. If you are someone who likes when you have to make split second decisions because then it feels like you're not over preparing and they're more organic and authentic, go for that. If you are someone who loves reading as much of the source material as you can because you want to understand the motivations, you want to understand the backstory, you want to interpret it in your own way and then come in with that understanding, go for that. The magic of voice acting is that there is no one correct way to do it. Part of what makes it so unique is that everyone who comes into the booth is bringing their own life, their own experiences, their own understanding, their own interpretation into the booth. And it allows us to hear what someone else's idea is. So it can go either way. And the important thing is that you figure out what works best for you.
I mean, we've touched on a lot of similar questions like this. So,
Yeah.
question number 20.
What is your favorite Subaru death in ReZero? This is a hard one.
Um, on a philosophical level, I still have a lot of respect for the very first death of the series because I don't know. Let me ask this. Do we know at what point Subaru was given the return by death ability?
Like spoiler wise, not really.
Do we do we know do we have confirmation that he received it the moment he got into the world? Do we have confirmation that he got it the first time he died? So no, we don't know
No.
if it was immediately given or if he obtained it, right?
Yep.
My crackpot theory is he got it the moment he focused on Amelia at the loot house right before the first death. Because I mean, I know that there's a lot of theories about how he's the reincarnation of Flugel, so maybe he was always meant to have it in the first place. But as long as I'm allowed to have theories that can be wrong, if there's the theory that Amelia is the reincarnation of Satella, and the whole thing is Satella going, I love you, I love you, I love you. If we think about how Subaru's love for Amelia is not a smitten love. It was seeing her care about someone she barely even knew, and him going, I need to honor someone like that. I respect someone like that. I can't let someone like that be taken advantage of because they gave love to someone they've barely even known, and I need them to know how much they are loved in turn. Now you flip it. He's at the loot house. He's bleeding out on the ground. He doesn't know what it's like to die. And the very first thing he did was try to prevent her from facing the same fate. He went, oh my God, my intestines are out of my body, but I don't want this to happen to her. This hurts so much. I can't let it happen. It does. And he goes, God damn it. I failed you. I'm so upset. This wasn't supposed to happen to you. No matter what happens to me, I'm going to save you. And think of in that moment, whether she's the embodiment of Satella or if Satella has some sort of control over her or if Satella is observing this. Imagine having that love turned back onto you and going, oh my God, someone like that, I need to protect them. I can't let them come to harm. I need them to understand how valuable it is to be a person like that. I'm going to give them this ability. So I like the concept that is the reason why he got returned by death, and he doesn't even know it. And otherwise, if he had just thought about himself, that would have been the end of it, you know? So I think it has the chance to be a very beautiful death if we find out at the end of the series that the whole reason any of this was able to happen was because of the love he showed in that moment, even if he didn't have it for himself. But in terms of Viscera,
Someone call Tepe right now.
I think being punted off the church pulpit with the gold chain stabbing into your neck was fucking violent, man. Like
Yeah.
the fact it wasn't immediate. You had the villain ranting at the same time. Like, oh my God. That was one of my favorite to voice act, even though it was such a throat ripper, because it was just so violent, so uncaring for how mean it was to Subaru.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, I still can't get over the Puck beheading in season 1. That one's probably my favorite.
Episode 15.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think why I liked the church one so much was because up until that point, Subaru didn't like dying, but he had largely just, I don't want to say he accepted it, but like it happened and then he reacted to it. But this was the first time since the very first death that he had fallen back into that mentality of, oh shit, I'm gonna die. I'm so scared. I don't want this to happen to me. And I hadn't seen that happen in a while. So it must have been particularly awful for him to be back into that mental state, you know? Or maybe it was because he was mind sharing with who was the kid? What was the kid's name? Remind me.
I don't remember the kid's name. I'm gonna be honest.
That will help me.
Yeah.
Kid's name.
Who cares about him? Twitch, help me. Discord doesn't have it. Loose bell. Yes, thank you. So.
Alrighty. Question number 21. Is this you, historian, or is this me? I forgot the order.
And just for my knowledge, how many more do we have on this list?
We go to 39. But we could
think there's 39, but I also think that the second hour, the event organizers wanted to do like Discord fan questions, like have people come up and ask.
Okay, that's up to folks. We'll see what they want to do. You just let me know. I do have extra time to spare, but I will follow whatever you all want because you followed what I needed on Monday.
All right, so what's the craziest fan interaction you've ever had, either for ReZero or just anything in general?
Like actual like socially awkward fan interaction.
I mean, it could be socially awkward. It could be someone giving you a cool gift, like any kind of interaction that really.
So I
stood out to you, and you were like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Yes. I'm gonna do one out of love and one out of please don't do this. So the one out of love, I'm sure a lot of people have heard. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of GQ-sama. And I understand that for a lot of like that is something that can be very divisive because I've seen people are like, oh my God, GQ-sama is someone who is so committed, who's so dedicated. And I've seen a lot of people who go, oh my God, GQ-sama is so cringe. Like, bro, why do you keep doing this? Why are you so focused on this? And what I want to say to people is, I think it is so beautiful to care about something so much that you are willing to commit to being as authentic and genuine in creating content for other people. Toby Fox said about Undertale and Deltarune that the important part is thinking that what you're doing is cool, even if it turns out to be cringe. Having the confidence to care about what you're doing is what gives it permission to be cool in the first place. So, you know, if you can go to Newgrounds right now, you can go onto Newgrounds and look up my username Sonic Mega and find stuff that I voiced in as far back as 2007 to 2009. And I'm gonna be straight up with you, I suck. I suck. I sound so bad. And if that's all I had ever taken in, if I'd always been like, oh my God, I'm so bad at this, I never would have had the desire to improve. I haven't seen a lot of GQ Sama's early stuff, but you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if some of his early videos sucked. You have to suck at stuff before you can kind of not suck at stuff. So that is an example of like, that is someone who's so into it and so into creating content as Subaru and recreating things from the series in real life. And I freaking love it. I love that he is willing to put in the work for that. On the other hand, I don't like when people only recognize me as the character and won't talk to me as a person. If you come up to my table
Yeah.
and you're like, "Hey Subaru, how are you?" And I'm like, "Hey man, how you doing today?" And they're like, "Yeah, have you gone on that date with Amelia yet? How do you feel about so and so?" All of a sudden I realize, "Oh, we're not having a real conversation. You're just talking to me as the character and you want to it's no different than people who ask the question to me, Sean, as how do you think Subaru would react if blank happened? But at least in that case, you're having a conversation with me as a person instead of just going, hey, you're just a vessel for this character, so perform for me, monkey, you know? So,
Yeah, they
oh
just
my
look for
God,
role play.
chat, you have no idea the kind most people, I would say 80 to 90% of people at conventions are very respectful. But you will get people that come up and all of a sudden forget that the rest of the world exists and think it's only about them, who will ask you a question and act like you're in character the entire time, and you'll do your best to answer the question. Sorry, I'm like something fell off my couch, so I'm trying to pick it up, and then something else fell off, so I tried to pick that up, and now causing a chain reaction of things. Anyway, they will forget the rest of the world exists, and they will ask you the question, and you will give them an answer that you think is sufficient, and then you'll be like, yeah, so that's my answer. And they'll do one of two things. Either they will just keep asking questions until you start giving one word answers, or they will just stand there like this and just wait for you to say more. And if you don't, then eventually I'll be like, all right, well, it was a pleasure speaking to you. I can help the next person, and they'll know enough to kind of step away because now I'm talking to somebody else. But they will just stand there and keep staring at me from 2 to
Get
3
that
feet
1,000-yard
away from the
stare
corner
going.
of my table because for some reason they think that when I'm done talking to the next person that I'm just going to go back to them instead of to the other 50 people who have been waiting in line. So eventually they get bored and walk away. But it is so weird because as an individual, I am there to do a job. So I can't acknowledge that they're still there staring at me. But I hope none of you ever have to experience having someone who has already kind of given you a weird interaction just watching you from 3 feet away in your peripheral vision for up to 10 minutes straight, waiting for you to re acknowledge them. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've worked in service industry, so that I used to work front desk at a gym, and you'd have people come in and say something to you, and then walk off to the side, and then stare at you while you help somebody else. And then I'm like, "You still need anything, man? Like, what's going on here?"
I think my absolute favorite, and by which I mean I actually just find this funny, is when I'm giving someone an answer and for some reason they decide that they've heard all that they want to hear and they just turn around and start leaving as I'm still answering them.
Like mid
That-
sentence.
I cannot there's no other way to describe it. There's no other way to describe it. And you wouldn't believe me unless it happened to you. But I will be like 2/3 of the way through an answer and they're like, "Okay, well, I have something else I need to do." But they don't even say that to me. They just go, "Okay, thanks," or nothing, and just walk off. And
It's
every
like they
time
think they can scroll to the next reel in real life. They could just scroll and move on.
If you are sitting next to me at my table when it happens, you will hear me go, and yeah, I just think that's just such a really cool way to interpret. Like, oh, okay, I guess we're done now.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of people everywhere. You never know what interaction you're gonna get, especially in public places like that.
Right?
Alrighty, question number 22. Are any of the event organizers in Discord right now that actually want to? Do we have like a second segment we want to move into? Because we're an hour into this. I know the original plan was like to go for 2 total hours. I don't know if Pandora's in here or not. Yes, no, maybe so.
I don't know where he is. He was
I
here
guess
last
not.
time.
Well, we can.
Should we just continue then? I guess. Oh,
I think
Pandora.
oh, here she is.
Pandora's here.
What's the plan here? Did we want to do bring people up, or just want to keep going with Q&A questions?
Yeah, we can basically move to next stage.
Sorry?
Wait, moves to.
Yeah, we can move to next stage. Yeah.
Wait, like we're bringing up people from the audience.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
How do we do it? Do we have people like raise
yeah,
their
I was gonna say,
hand,
how do you want to
or-
go about doing that?
Or do you want to do it?
Do hand raising?
Are you asking me or are you discussing
No,
amongst yourselves?
We're asking Pandora.
I'm trying to see what Pandora wants to do.
Oh, we have someone.
Oh, someone.
Hello.
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 Hey there.
What? Is this someone that's asking you a question, or is this someone you brought up to like help you figure out what's going on?
Sorry, I'm just a bit nervous. Is all.
It's okay.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Also, as a heads up to people, I do appreciate the friend requests on Discord, but I'm just letting you know straight up, I'm not accepting any of them. My Discord is primarily used for my stream server or for work situations like this, and unfortunately, I've had too many cases in the past where people friend me to send a message and then just continue wanting to talk. So, out of fairness to everyone, I'm not accepting any of them. You are free to send a DM. I don't think we have to share a server for you to send me a DM. And I'll do my best to respond to those, but do not bother sending a friend request. It's not being accepted. So thank you for understanding.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Garfield, are you doing okay? You want to ask your question?
Yeah. So Sean, I don't really want to make you pick favorites or anything, but what is one of your favorite characters that you've ever voice acted as?
That I've ever voice acted. So for a while, I mean, I still find this mostly true, but what I had told people was I don't pick favorites because if you're familiar, do you know an actress by the name of Deborah Wilson?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yes. So she has a famous 6-word phrase, which is either it doesn't have to be me or it didn't have to be me. And the idea behind it is what I mentioned earlier about there being hundreds, if not thousands, of people who can play a character just as well as other folks. I am extremely lucky to be in the position that I'm in, and to play the different characters that I play. But I know plenty of other people who can play them just as well. So I am grateful for every opportunity that I have had to be involved in the projects that I'm a part of. So part of how I show that gratitude is not picking favorites, in part because whether you know me from Breath of the Wild, or you know me from ReZero, or you know me from Guido Mista from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or you know me from a Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles remake, I want to be able to say to every single person, Yes, I loved that project too. Here is something that made it so meaningful to me. Another reason is because I couldn't even begin to explore all the different ways that my roles have done stuff for me. D-Luke and Genshin Impact opened the door to a lot of convention appearances, which Kinger only made even bigger. Kinger is a worldwide phenomenon. Subaru wasn't very popular at first, believe it or not. I didn't see a lot of hubbub about it online, but now he's finally getting the acknowledgement I feel he deserves. Revali, Teba, and the Great Deku Tree were voiced Zelda characters in a first-party franchise for Nintendo for a game that finally surpassed Ocarina of Time in terms of review score. What an achievement, you know? How do I pick between all of those, just as an example? But I will say, truthfully, and I'm not making this up just because I happen to be on this presentation of all things. Over the years, ReZero has truly become something where I share more with this character than any other role I have ever had, for good and for bad. His stubbornness, his loyalty to his friends, his headstrong tendency, his tendency to take on way more burden and work than he should. The fact that he tries to look out for other people, the fact that he can get very emotional at times, the even in like physical aspects, the fact that not that he's actually lost his mom, but the fact that he is now separated from his mom. This awareness that I know my dad is getting up in years, and I'm not ready to say goodbye to him. So that scene in season 2 where Subaru was basically practicing saying, "Hey, I think I've got good people looking after me. I think I'm going to be okay, but it's going to suck not getting to be with you anymore." That really hit me hard. And in ways that I can't quite get into detail about yet, um, I didn't know because I knew that my mom passed away at 40. I did not know if I was going to make it this far to get to play Subaru for this long. And that really scared me. That scared me a lot because I love this character so much and I could not fathom the idea. I would be upset but understanding if they ever decided to recast. If they're like, "Sorry, your voice has aged too much. We need someone who can match your original tone for Subaru." But I would be despondent if I couldn't make it to the end of the series voicing this character because of something outside of my control, like dying from something. So, Subaru means an awful lot to me. And like I had mentioned on Monday, there are aspects that I can't be completely public about yet that tie me to this character just because it's very, very private information. But I do plan to share it someday. And I hope that the news will get out when it does and that folks will understand this is not a joke to me. Um, it often has felt like at times that my life has followed ReZero like a Book of the Dead. I'm not making that up. There are things that have happened in my life around the same time that they have happened in the anime that I'm like, this isn't fucking possible. How is this happening in this order? And I hope someday I'll be able to elucidate on that more. But I would say it is Subaru that has aligned with me more than any other role at this point.
There you go. I
Thank
mean,
you
I was
so
intro-
much.
I was in. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No, you're good.
I was introduced to you because I'm a huge fan of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like that's one of my favorite series of all time. So I was introduced to you as a voice actor as Mista, of course. And
Yes.
so hearing the difference between you and Mista and you as Mista and you as Subaru, I when I first started watching ReZero, I was sitting there thinking, oh my god, that's Mista. And then slowly as I'm watching ReZero, it transferred from OMG, that's Mista. It went OMG, Mista is Subaru. As I
Yep.
became more familiar with the character of Subaru and appreciated him more
Yeah.
as a
To
character and the effort you've put into that role compared
to
to
give you to
JoJo's.
give
Now,
you
I'm
an
not saying that you
idea
don't job as Mista, but that's
to
just
give
how
you an
I've
idea
experienced it.
how much has happened in this series that has some connection to my life, I am like genuinely scared if at the end of this series Subaru dies for real. Because at this point, I'm like kind of worried that if my life continues following it, something will happen that will make me pass away shortly after the series is over. I'm actually kind of starting to believe it right now.
Wow.
Okay, do we have anyone who's coming up next, Pandora? Are you gonna handle
Wait,
that, or
by the way,
is someone gonna raise hands?
Renrants, go to
Yes.
slide 45 because that's the Q&A session. They
Slide
messaged me
45. Is it?
or in the group chat.
Let
Hello.
me just spam click through here real quick.
This one.
Here we go. Feel free to press the request to speak button, and our stage moderator will allow one at a time. Okay, do it in case anybody was wondering.
Okay. Hello.
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 Kind of stressed out. Sorry, yeah, I'm very stressed. I just want to talk with my war heart. Back in the day when I discovered ReZero in 2020, ReZero kind of changed my whole life. Something happened and all. I promised myself some thing in life, improve myself. I sometimes ask myself what Subaru would do at my place.
Mhm.
Say to myself, no, never give up, etc. Even though I watched in Japanese first, I saw clips of English dubs right after, and it was so good. I watched some episodes and clips on English, and it kind of felt like I discovered ReZero again, like kind of my favorite fan of all time.
Sure.
Because even though if the Japanese dub feels unique, that's also what I think about the English dub. It's amazing, good, and unique, and I feel like discovering the anime again because your voice scene is it kind of belongs to Subaru so well. Like such as the other people in the English dubs too, but I don't think anyone could replace you that well in
It's
this
part
dub.
of what makes it so stressful for me is because like I accept the praise and I truly do enjoy voicing the character, and it means every time the stakes are raised a little bit further, I'm like, "Oh my god, I hope I can still match it." Is probably my second biggest fear beyond not being alive to continue the role is to have the collective community go, "Nah, he's bro's cooked. You know, he lost it. He's lost the sauce. It's not as good as it used to be. Man, I had such high hopes for this, and he ruined it. He ruined my favorite moment in the series." I think about it all the freaking time when I'm preparing to come in for the session. So, but I'm so proud of the work that everyone has done so far. And I also want to make sure that folks remember there's more than just the English and the Japanese. I hope that we can reach a point where we show the same love for the Spanish dub, or for Spanish dubs in general, for French dubs in general, for German dubs in general. There is a video online that looks at the staircase scene in all of the different languages that it's dubbed in. And I loved seeing how the different languages handled the maniacal laughter, that kind of talking to himself as he's slowly losing it. I loved the different interpretations. And I feel like a lot of these conversations only focus on either English or Japanese when we have an entire world of creative languages being used to bring this to life for wider audiences.
Yeah, but we trust in you. We know you will do your best every time to the Subaru, and we know you got this. We know it.
Thank you.
So
Well,
yeah,
part of why I enjoy this so much is because of you and everyone like you. I mean, yes, I would still do this even if there was no audience for it. I can think of plenty of projects that I personally love that nobody ever talks about. But I'm gonna be honest. Every time the new episode comes out, I'm searching my name. I'm searching my name plus Subaru, seeing if people are commenting on the English dub, seeing if people are posting clips of the English that I can share with my community, because I want to know. I want to know what people think, because I've known when I record for those episodes, I've known about them for days or even weeks in advance. And I want to share it with all of you and see what other people are thinking. That's why when Ice refused to talk about what happens in episode 11, when they were like, you just have to wait and find out, I was impatiently waiting for the episode to drop so that I could finally see everyone's reactions to an episode that I was bringing myself to tears going, I know I killed this. I know it's good. And I cannot wait for everyone else to get to see it.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yes.
So yeah, like the dub is like so amazing that I had to watch the
Thank you.
episode even 2 times a row, the Japanese and the English the other day. That was just insane.
Thank you. Thank you so
So
much.
I would like to deeply thank you with all my heart for making me able to discover ReZero again in English when
Okay.
I watch it again. I promise myself to continue until the very first to the very end to watch it in English. Also, kind of thank you to have changed my life because you're
Mm.
part of Subaru for the hype of the anime and for making it so special. And my birthday coming in 6 days, being able to talk to you might be my best birthday gift I ever had so far. So
Keep aiming
I
for even
would
bigger heights,
never.
brother. Never become complacent. Never plateau. There's always something bigger to work towards. But I'm glad I could be part of your accomplishment journey. And speaking of which, before we move on to the next person, I remember saying that there was someone who had a piece of art that they wanted to show before the end of this, right? I just remember when I was discussing with the team, someone had mentioned that there was something they wanted to show me.
Oh, I think that someone did draw some art. Pandora would
Yeah, I think
probably
it's
know better
Pandora.
than
Yeah.
either
Do
of
we
us.
want to, at the end of this hour, do we want to do that as like the send off before I leave? I just want
Yeah,
to make
we
sure
can do
we
some art.
include
We
that.
can do some art send offs. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay,
Sure.
Sounds
cool.
good.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much, Rosie, for your time. That was I
Thank you
appreciate
too.
it so much, and I promise I'm going to keep doing the best that I can to honor this show that I love so much and the people who are so passionate about it.
Thank you very much, you too.
No problem. Take care.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Next up, we got Mel.
Hi. I would just like to say, because I don't have any questions, but like I just want to say how much I like really appreciate your work. I've been a fan since you've been voicing Kiyotaki Shumari from Danganronpa.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's how like far I've seen how you've been doing your work, right? So I'm inspiring to be a voice actor myself. I do content on my own TikTok about
Mhm.
of Beatrice from ReZero. Like you and like so many other voice actors have inspired me so much to the point where I've gotten my own kind of like sort of fan base and my own sort of circle around me of people that really support me. And like without your work and including a load of other people, I would not have gotten to this point. So, and I really just, I love how the way you speak, like about your characters and everything. You voiced D-Luke from Genshin Impact. I'm a really big fan, and you also voiced Purple Yam Cookie from Cookie Run
Yes,
Kingdom.
that
Like
was a
I'm a
throat
big
ripper for sure. Oh my god.
I'm a really like diehard fan at this point, and you've voiced some of the Persona characters as well.
Yes.
Holy, you've done a lot. And I first found you out from Kiyotaka, and like he's one of my favorite ever Trigger Happy Havoc characters. When he died, I was so upset. Sorry if anyone's here. Sorry for spoilers. That was my fault saying. I was so like sad because the way you expressed his emotions and like how he gathered his own emotions at the end of like chapter 2 to 3 with Mondo,
Sure.
like oh my god, that was one of the most sentimental like parts in Happy Havoc I really loved. And I just really appreciate how you voice Subaru as well. When I first watched ReZero, which was like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I already noticed how well you interpret him. Like, I know you keep saying, like, oh, there's other people that could voice him better.
Mhm.
But in my eyes, I couldn't see anyone else doing that. That's just a genuine question. But I have no questions. I just wanted to come up here and just say I really appreciate and love your work. You do really well.
Thank you. I think passion is one of the most important aspects to anything that we do in life because it can cause a lot of pain. When we are passionate about what we're doing, we hold ourselves to a lot of expectations. We're like, if I'm going to do it, I need to do it right. a lack of passion can make things easier to do because you don't want to commit as much energy or as much time to it. But I feel like a lot of the best things in life happen when passionate people come together. Whether that's voice actors, whether that's musicians, whether it's animators. Part of what makes, as an example, season 4 so good is because it's not just the voiceover. It is the key animators, putting their heart and soul into authentically representing these words in a visual format. It is, the musicians creating songs that every time we hear it, like, oh, I want to hear this at the end of the series. Every time we do a callback, it brings tears to my eyes. It is people on the internet writing all caps posts on Twitter and Blue Sky going, I'm so hyped for this episode. You all aren't ready, getting all whipping us all up into a frenzy. I think this was also Toby Fox that said this, but this is something I also say as well, is how blessed is it that we are alive at exactly the right time to get to experience something like this? Because while, there's probably people who had really cool things happen in the 1500s and the 1800s, and most of it we probably have no idea about besides what historians decided to archive. And there may be people in 2050 or, 2150 who know that this show existed, but they don't have a way of watching it anymore. We have no idea of telling. We're not going to be around for it that far from now. So how blessed is it that we all get to be here together in this point in time to get to enjoy a show like this and share our love for it with each other? And I think that's really important. And I think that's why it's also important to give our all to it. Whether it's with crazy theories or whether it's, our dumb ideas and our memes and everything like that, because that is our way of showing our passion and our love. And my career would not be possible without, everyone showing that passion. Because if people didn't care about English voiceover, if they were like, I just want to be able to watch the show in any format, then their companies wouldn't budget to allow for an English voiceover. So I'm not joking when I say that my ability to do this and my ability to do this full time only exists because of the passion of the audience. And so to me, it feels like the very least that I can do is to return that passion and say, hey, it didn't have to be me in this role, but as long as it is, I'm going to do the best I can to show that it matters to me. Yeah. So thank you.
It's
Don't
no
worry,
worries.
Sean. I'm gonna invent time travel so that Victorian children in the 1800s can experience episode 1 of ReZero in real time.
Why is that lady hurting the boy? Mama! Because he didn't eat his vegetables, Jimmy. Now shut up. Clean your plate or you'll be next.
Oh,
Okay, next up we got Resimple.
Resimple.
Oh my god, I was not expect. Oh my god. Hello everyone. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I was not expecting that. First of all, I just want to say, Sean, I really do look up to you. I'm speechless when it. Sorry,
It's okay.
I'm really nervous. You're someone I truly aspire to be, and not just as a voice actor, but rather as an actual human being too. I really do not. I don't just see you for your voice acting. I also, for example, during this live event, I really noticed and understood how much you really care about, for example, moral values such as about AI generative art. I really do believe, like, I do also agree with you on that part. But anyways, I really did want to say that throughout, I'm a big anime fan, right? I love watching anime. And I would say out of all the voice actors I've not seen, but I've obviously watched in dub, sub, I truly think you're one of a kind. And I don't mean that lightly. Like when I'm a big, Attack on Titan fan, Code Geass, Black Clover, Dr. Stone, so forth. All of them have amazing voice actors. But when it comes to you, and I don't mean this in a glazing type of way, I truly believe that you're a dynamic voice actor. Like you really bring the passion that I think everyone can agree that we can see the passion that you bring to the table. And I really do respect that because that's something I've always aspired to be. Like I personally want to one day try and become like a little voice actor. That's something I've always dreamt of doing. I really want to try to be the best I can at voice acting. If it doesn't work out, so be it. But I just wanted to kind of get off my chest that you're one of the biggest figures I really look up to. And I just I can't put into words how much you actually you've changed my life in a way. Like I wouldn't have
This
actually
is an
gone
easy
into
Q&A. I
ReZero.
haven't had to answer any questions so far. No,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I do have a question.
Everybody's
I'll be
great.
quick.
well, I was
I don't
also
wanna
going to
take up
respond
too
to
much
what you
time.
were saying, but go ahead.
Sorry, no, you go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
So yeah, I mean, overall though, you're truly someone I really look up to. I really do admire all your work, such as obviously Subaru Natsuki. I did see. I think there was also one from Guilty Gear Strive, if I'm not mistaken, that I've
Yes, my
seen
boy
before.
Kai Kiske in Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah. I've also seen that. I've also seen clips from Genshin. I don't remember the character because I'm not a big Genshin fan, but I do know that you voiced it, and I do remember hearing some voice lines, and I really do believe you're an amazing voice actor. You could even say you are an amazing guy. But besides the point, one of my main questions is basically, how do I put this into a word? When you're in the voice, like when you're in the voice studio, and you kind of just, let's say you're recording a heavy scene. So let's say season 4, episode 11. When you kind of switch into that gear where you become extremely emotional, is it kind of like when you switch between emotions, I mean, does it become difficult to kind of dynamically change between them? Or is it more of a conscious feeling? Like, okay, I'm going to be angry in this first sentence, and then I'm going to be sad in this sentence.
No, so that's one of the pitfalls that you want to avoid as someone getting into voice acting is, am I going to be angry here? Am I going to be sad here? Am I going to be despondent here? Because that's doing is putting on a mask. It's going, I am this emotion. I am mad. I am sad. I am happy. And what we as human beings enjoy more than seeing emotions is understanding context. If we understand that we can say like, oh, this animal is angry. But if we understand, oh, this animal is angry because it's protecting its children. Well, now we understand why it's doing what it's doing. That justifies the emotion that it's having. We may even empathize with it. We're like, oh, I should leave this animal alone because I'm scaring it and it's really just trying to protect its kids. So when I'm going through those scenes, since we're going to use episode 11 as an example, when I do that scene when he has the big breakdown in front of Anastasia and Beatrice, and he's like, "Man, it must seem like I've completely lost my shit." Well, the reason is I kept getting poked, and I finally lost it. Okay, you don't understand what I've been through. And then especially the moment after when he goes, I get it, God. I understand. I screwed up. Like this was all foreshadowed in the previous episodes when he's like, I gave my mom lip. I didn't clean the dish. I walked out on her. I didn't give my parents enough respect. And it all leads to this moment in episode 11 where he goes, I get it. If this is punishment for what I did, I accept responsibility. Please, I understand. I get it now. Just let me go home, right? Like you can, even just me saying it, I'm feeling the tears kind of welling up because I think all of us can understand that of going, I get it now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not being, I'm not putting on a front. I'm not trying to be a cool guy. I'm not trying to be more than I am. I screwed up and I'm sorry. Please just let me go home. I miss my mom. I miss my family. And part of him understanding probably nothing is going to happen. How does that feel? How does that feel to be in that situation? Imagine your entire life that you know and suddenly just being ripped away from it and not understanding what's going on. You've already died 2 or 3 times. You're scared that you're about to die again after watching all these people suffer. And you're like, this is a bad dream I can't wake up from. Oh my God. And just being, that's why they say you have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to sound stupid because to us as the audience, we know that he's the main character. We know he's going to find a solution to this. We know he's going to survive because otherwise, all of a sudden, the series is just going to end abruptly and it's not going to make sense. But to him, that's his reality. That is what he's going through. He doesn't know what we know. And we, as actors, we have to be willing to know just enough to understand what the scene is calling for, but also to throw away everything that the character isn't supposed to know so that we can give an authentic performance. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to lock in every single time. Sometimes I need some input from the director to go, hey, let me hear a little bit more of this. Here's some more justification. Here's something that I know that you don't because I have access to more materials than you do. and we'll come back and we'll explore it from a couple different angles. Maybe we'll try it from anger at the characters versus like his justification is, I'm angry that you still don't get this, versus I don't care whether or not you get this. I'm just screaming at the world because I'm so fed up and I feel hopeless. Versus I'm yelling because I'm hoping if I yell loud enough that my mom will hear me and come rescue me because I miss her so much, right? Like there is just three different completely emotionally distinct reasons why someone may be yelling at the top of their lungs. And it's about making a choice and then committing to it. So that is my answer to your question that you asked specifically. But if I can comment on the, as chat called it, the glazing that you gave me throughout it, I I both recognize and find myself very confused because I'm not going to be stupid and say, oh, no, bro, I'm not that good. I know that this career has looked after me, and I know I give a lot of shits about the work that I do. I know that I wouldn't be working as often as I am if I didn't. I know that right now the industry is very bad for a lot of people. I think even the normal statistic is only about 14% of actors make enough from the career that they can do it full time, which means 86% of my colleagues need to have some sort of supplementary source of income. And that's terrifying to me because I can't imagine being able to put this much effort into something else and also be doing voice acting at the same time. Um, but it's funny to me because I'm not in Marvel Rivals. I'm not in the new Pokemon franchise. I'm not in, Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not in the new Star Fox. I'm not in any of these things that are coming out that are really big AAA projects. It feels like a lot of the biggest roles that I have to my name are things that are over a decade old at this point. ReZero started in 2016. Breath of the Wild started in 2017. Genshin Impact, I think, is on the way out. I think a lot of people are focused on newer projects at this point. So it's so weird to me because I know that I'm doing good work, and yet it's so difficult to compare that to this awareness of it feels like I'm not booking anything that's new and big. And it's like, what am I doing wrong that everyone else seems to be doing correctly? Um, so it's so weird to look at that didactic, and I'm so constantly scared that if these long-running series suddenly dry up or end, that I'm not going to be relevant anymore. And I'm going to clarify, it's not a concern of, oh, I need to be relevant at all costs. I'm not trying to become Shia LaBeouf or, Nicolas Cage over here. But it's more a question of how is it that people can be praising me so much for an ability I apparently have when it's not landing me anything new. It's just allowing me to keep doing good work on projects that already exist. And that's something that I'm still dealing with. And yet, at the same time, like I said, with me working as often as I am, it's why I mentioned about how I get hired for incidentals, or maybe I'm not Spider-Man in a new Spider-Man game, but I'm a bunch of the guards, or I'm, a returning character that he gets to fight against. I recognize that I'm good enough at my job that people want to hire me over and over and over again. So I still manage to be involved in this industry, even if I'm not booking the named characters that everyone wants to talk about at conventions. So I want you to know I believe you. I trust you. I accept your kind words, and I know that if I wasn't good at what I do, and I didn't care about what I do, I would not be working as often as I am in a time when the industry has never been worse. Um, but I am hopeful that through showing that same level of care in everything that I do, no matter how small, that other people will look out for me when it matters most. That's part of why, again, I feel this kinship with Subaru. The reason why I work as often as I do is because there are directors, there are clients, there are colleagues that think about me and refer me and say, I want to work with him. For all the times that I audition for things and don't manage to land a role, there are so many times when they go, hey, we're working on this project and we want to just hire you as this character because we are so confident in your ability to play this and give us a good performance. And what is that if not the definition of friendship and teamwork, and the kind of message that ReZero has been trying to give us of no one can do this alone. It depends. You need to be able to depend on the people around you to lend their individual skills so that you can combine them with yours in order to make something happen that's great. So, thank you. And once again, I promise that as long as I'm able to keep doing this, no matter what kind of project it's for, I'm going to try and bring my A game so that even if I'm not the main character, maybe there will be a clip online that goes, "Hey, did anyone notice how hard this one boss goes in this game? Like, I just like fighting him over and over again because the lines are so good." So thank you.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
finish this on a bit of levity, the moment you came in and your name was Reese Simple, I just thought of like simple Wikipedia, like when it makes everything in short sentences. And now I would just want to see like when I was talking about how Japanese anime is so big on exposition. I want like a version of ReZero that is just like Microsoft Sam computer voice explaining everything that's happening in super simple sentences. Like it's, "Oh, I've been transported to this world. Yay, magic. Wait, no magic. Ow,
Why are you
I mean,
saying that?
stop.
I could definitely
thief."
give that a try, but yeah. I don't want to take up too much time. There's a ton of other people that want to come up here, but overall, I just kind of want to describe how I feel. Like you've genuinely changed my life. I was in a really dark time at one point in my life. I'm not going to get into that, but the way I'm not going to say like, "Oh, Super Natsuki, like saved me." The way you convey the emotions he goes through, it really speaks to me because that's exactly how I feel in some aspects of my life when I go through certain things. That's exactly how I want to react. And I feel like the way you do it is just phenomenal. It's perfect. You really convey the emotions that I like. For example, in the case of, let's say, in Rem's confession in season 1, where he was basically crashing out. Like, if I was in that position, I feel like the way you would have done it would have been the way I would have felt like I would have done it, if that makes sense. You portrayed it to perfection. But honestly, it has been a dream of mine to meet you. You're truly one of my kind of just like a huge influence to my content creation and also just kind of voice acting like career that I want to partake.
Thank you.
One last thing I do want to leave off on. The way that I see your voice acting, it's kind of like when you go on vacation and you kind of go to a different country and you try this delicious food and then you go back. That's kind of how it feels with
That's the
your
Shoom,
dubs.
baby.
It's just,
if you ever go to the UK, eat at the Shoom. It's the best Indian restaurant I've ever been to. Your passion fruit soda, I could drink a gallon of it in a single go. Yes, absolutely. So
I want to quickly
thank you
interrupt.
so much for having me. Sorry, go on.
So the event organizers messaged me and said to keep each of these questions to just 5 minutes, right? So like each person will only have 5 minutes.
yes, that was
and
partially my fault for giving such a long-winded answer. So I apologize.
No, I'm sorry. I went off. That's
no,
my
no
bad
worries,
completely.
no worries.
I'm really sorry.
But also for
Just
everyone
make sure
coming
everyone
up
gets a
after
chance.
this, please start with the questions. So otherwise it would take a lot of time. We want to get as many people as we can up here. So yeah.
Thank you,
But
Pandora,
thank you
for the
so much for your
opportunity. I
time.
love you, Ellen. I love you, Ren, and I
love you
love you,
too.
Sean. You guys are
Good luck
amazing.
on your journey.
Thanks for coming up. Alrighty. Next up, let's make sure we're getting the questions at the beginning. Just not because like we want to stop you guys from like saying nice things, but because we want to make sure we can get as many people up here as we possibly can.
Okay. What?
All right.
There you go. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can
I
hear
just
you,
want
bud.
to say, honestly, I had a question, but I don't
That's
even want
good.
to say the
That's why we
question anymore.
brought
I
you
just
here.
want to express. No, the thing is, I want to just express how proud I am of being in this community. Like your philosophy, just learning who you are through this whole thing. I just fell in love. I love you as a person now. Like I just love your philosophy. I love all of it. I love being part of this community. I love every single part of it. I mean, the reason I became like a content creator, right? Like for my whole thing revolves around Aro. Do you mind if I turn on my camera? I have like a whole cosplay on.
I will let you turn on your camera if you move to the question, because I appreciate the loophole. Rizzing up the
Okay.
community instead of glazing me. But we did establish that we need to make sure we can fit people in. So that's the trade. I will let you turn on your camera, but you got to
okay.
switch to your question.
I got it. So how do I put this? What's your favorite part like of the community? Like the favorite aspect about it? Like let's say a joke, besides the the aura monster that you already mentioned. Let's say like
Right.
a favorite joke or something you loved about it.
it's how active you all are. Like maybe I'm oblivious because I haven't had a chance to watch Freerin, so I don't know about the Freerin community, or I don't get a chance to watch Witch Hat Atelier. But I feel like certain communities have certain focuses. Where like I feel like Witch Hat Atelier has a really big art community. A lot of people do art based on Witch Hat Atelier. Or you may have a show where like with Azumanga Daioh, you might have a lot of people who make 4 Koma comics based on that because it's a very comedic show. And if there's one thing that I think, if there's one thing that I think defines the ReZero community, it's the camaraderie, it's the passion. In the same way that so much of the show is focused around a community of people working together. Every time there's an episode, I'm seeing people post the peak cinema with Subaru doing that thing, or they're reacting and like showing, or they're repurposing memes and like putting character faces or character hats over them. The best way I describe it is how SpongeBob is ephemeral. There are so many different communities where there are SpongeBob screenshots that can be applied, where it's like, if a hype episode of ReZero shows up, someone will post the GIF image of SpongeBob going, "Yeah, I freaking love when Amelia gets character development," or something like that. And I feel like there are so many cases where there's quotes or reaction images of Subaru that people are able to use not only within their own community but in others. So I think, you're all my little kitchen full of cockroaches. This is the most
I love that. That's
you are
beautiful.
constantly skittering around looking for little nuggets, little pieces of dropped food, a meme, an episode piece, a cool quote.
Just to make
and you
something out of
scurry
it.
And you scurry it off. No, not cockroaches, ants. You're like a little group of ants bringing it back to the anthill and going, "My friends, look what I've brought from the outside world, outside of our realm of ReZero." And everyone goes, "The nuggets, the info, thank you." So everyone's like touching antennae and going, "Tell me about this meme, tell me about this thing that you found," and then you share it with the rest of the community. It is so integrated with each other where no one's just, "Hey, here's the thing that I made for myself and I want you all to praise me." It's, "Here's this thing I made for all of us to enjoy together, and I hope it inspires you to do your own stuff as well." And I love that. So I've seen chat say, "Am I the uncle?" Well, if I'm the uncle, you all are my aunt.
I just like to point out one thing before I go. Guys, I beat the Pandora allegations. Pandora's here. I'm here. I'm not Pandora. Leave me alone. Okay? I beat the Pandora allegations. Stop. Anyway, love you, bro. I hope you have a nice day. Hope everything goes easy on you.
Thank you so much.
You're pretty busy, so I probably will send you a DM one of these days just to give you like a short message. I'm not gonna bombard you because I get it. I'm a content creator. People just ask me, "Oh, watch this video," and I can't keep up with it. So I really understand the whole thing.
Right.
It gets time consuming, but yeah,
Right.
love you. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day, and
Yes,
bye-bye.
thank you. See, this is what I love, because I know that some clip from this is going to get taken out of context, and to everyone except the ReZero community, the clip of me going, "You all are cockroaches" to me is going to be used as like, "Wow, he doesn't give a single shit about the community." But I can trust in my heart that the ReZero community is going to go, "Yeah, the cockroach crew, let's go." People are gonna like Photoshop. I know we've seen the echidna with Subaru's face. Now we're gonna have like cockroaches with just all like the characters' faces from the series going, "What? We're cockroach comrades, baby."
There's gonna be a new section in the Discord called the Ant Hill, and it's just gonna be where everybody just posts reaction images.
Cut off a cockroach's head, and it will continue to live for weeks. It's returned by death in real life.
Hello.
All right, Sekhmet, what do you got for us?
I'm very nervous, but I'm a big person that's like, I love quotes a lot. So I wanted to ask you, the important question. What is like, if there's a quote you could tell anybody inside the like community or just anyone in general, what would it be?
If there's a quote I could tell anybody like as just a life mantra in general,
Basically.
I think the one that I would pick from the show, I'll do one from the show and one that's just personal. The one that I would pick from the show is, I guess, "As long as I have life, all I can do is fight with all my might." Like I said, I love that quote so freaking much. just because I think it provides inspiration of as long as you've got it, why waste it? As long as you have that opportunity, why let it pass you by? So do the most that you can. Even if the most that you can is your bare minimum in that moment, at least you're still putting in the effort. One that I like from a different show, and this is from Tokyo Revengers, is you don't have to bow your head, just have a heart that cares for others. I love that quote because it has both the essence of being confident in yourself and not being subservient to other people, but also understanding when it's not your turn. The phrase "you don't have to bow your head," meaning you don't have to become someone else's inferior. You don't have to, take yourself out of the picture. You don't need to act like you don't have value. But just have a heart that cares for others means understand when someone else deserves their time more than you. Understand when it's not your turn in the spotlight. Understand that there are times when it's time to focus on something else besides yourself. That is a quote that Draken says to Mikey in Tokyo Revengers, and I love it so much because it is that perfect middle ground of I am going to be my most authentic self, but I'm not going to be a narcissist. And I think that's really all you need to aim for. That's all you need to aim for in life, if nothing else, is don't hide who you are, but don't cover up other people's chances to be themselves either. Um, and then that plays into the one that I like for myself is that uh what is it? It was what the young kid said. I forget what the video was, where he's like, be best. Be best. Like, just try to be the best version of yourself. Sometimes there's folks that I see who like they want to go to an event and they are $200 short of being able to attend. And I will look at the success that I've had at recent events and go, can I make this person's life better in a small way? If that's whether that's financially helping them out or hearing out a problem that they have or giving some advice. I can't solve everyone's lives. I can't solve everyone's problems. I can't be the solution that fixes everything going on for the world around me. So my simple goal is I want people who interact with me, who choose to have me in their life, to feel like having me be there is a net positive. Not everyone needs to have me in their life. I don't need to be involved in everyone's life. But if someone chooses to have me be a part of their long-term memory, my goal is that I will be a part of the positives that they look back on throughout their life. And then you
Thank you.
should aim for that too.
That's like really beautiful. I love it so much.
So,
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, Sekhmet. Next up, we've got the LARP
LARP
of
of
Sloth,
Sloth.
Mr. Jake.
Okay. I want you to understand right now. I'll get to my question right away, and I won't take a ton of time. But this is just such a massive moment for me, Sean. I met you at the convention in Garden City, and I kind of froze up because I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I've been a huge fan of your work for like 6 years, and
The most recent one in Long Island?
yes, the most recent one. I came early in the morning on Saturday, and I took a photo with you. But I was like, "Oh my goodness!" He's hosting a Q&A as well. I have to come here. And I'm gonna get
I'm
into
sorry. They call themselves the LARP of Sloth, but they're making all you look like the LARPers. They actually made it to an event.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the crazy thing. You were 20 minutes away, and I was like, I have to go. Anyway, I'll get to my question right away. Hold on, let me find it because it was in the Q&A submission. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, so I got a bit mushy, but I said, "Hi, Sean. I've been a dedicated fan of your work as Subaru since 2020. I remember you mentioning in a past Q&A that you'd love to see If Routes animated. As a big fan of Rem and thus her If Route, if the Sloth If Route ever got an official adaptation, how would you approach voicing a version of Subaru who's traded his high energy panic for domestic peace, but is still carrying that underlying survivor's guilt?" And I ended up saying, thank you for being so down to earth with the community, but. Yeah, I'd just love to get your thoughts on that if you don't
Oh, I
mind.
think it would be incredibly. I mean, okay, I don't want to set myself up for failure. I would not be surprised if it was incredibly easy because despite all the energy that I'm displaying on something like this, when I'm not performing, when I'm not doing interviews, I am extremely quiet. Most of my evenings when the work is done, I am passed out on the couch with my cats cuddling on my chest and my wife sitting next to me playing either her Pokemon or her farming sim game of her choice. And we have had days where we are next to each other for 6, 8, 10 hours, and we do not say a word to each other except maybe once every couple of
Wow.
hours to like point out something, but we are at peace with each other because it is our quiet escape from the rest of the world. And I mean, I feel like that's what the sloth root is Subaru saying,
Yeah,
this is too much for me. Let's run away from all of this and have a
pretty much.
quiet escape from the rest of the world. And that's why that root gets so crazy, is because the mysterious person breaks in and tries to fucking kill him. And all of a sudden he's dragged back into all these events that happen. So
Absolutely.
I think it would just work out naturally where it's like, I mean, you may have heard me in performances as Kinger and other characters. I
Yes, yes, yes.
understand what it's like to have a more relaxed, laid back attitude. So I could totally play that in of like, oh, it's so nice to finally have a break from things, you know? Like I'm
Yeah.
very confident I could portray
Because
that.
Subaru's closer to yourself, you know. You often say that you really embody Subaru over the years. It's just, I'm sure you do great, but you know, obviously,
Yes,
it's a
I
whole.
mean, I would kill to be able to voice the if roots. Oh my god, I want to explore those different facets of him because while it can be a lot for people, I really enjoy characters that have hyperbolic tendencies or hyperbolic
Yeah.
personality quirks. So I like people who are studious. I love the bookworm. I like people who are go-getters. I love the aggressive rival who always wants to face you in battle, you know? So I love the idea of a route where Subaru like goes crazy with power. I like the idea of an if route where Subaru becomes the analytical who is almost emotionless because all he's doing is gathering
Well,
information
yep.
for Echidna. Go ahead.
Oh no. Sorry, I was just. That was
I love the idea of an if route where Subaru becomes passive. I love the idea of an if route where it's just some facet of Subaru gets focused on to the point of excess, because that is what defines those routes. Is instead of becoming a well-rounded person, he leans too heavily into an aspect of himself that prevents him from making the correct decision. Does that make
absolutely.
sense?
He's slothful. Yep, absolutely.
So
So anyway, I just want to say one more thing before I go, but you know, because of your work on episode 18, parent and child, all the stuff you've probably heard 1,000 of times, but you know, I was able to kind of have my own from zero moment, and your work genuinely changed my life in a way that I can't really explain, but you know, I kind of try to here, and I just this opportunity means the world to me. So please keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a fantastic job. And
I'm gonna do the best I can. I
W
can't
Monster,
promise
W LARP, you know.
I can't promise it will be perfect, but I promise that I will be putting my full effort into it every chance I can.
I'm sure you'll kill it. I'm positive. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's get the next
Thank
person.
you. Next up, we have
Natsuki Subaru.
Natsuki Subaru, the man himself, apparently.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
the me, Natsuki Subaru. Okay, so I
What
don't
an
have any
amazing
question
guy.
for you. Yeah, I am an amazing guy. Okay, so I don't have any question for you, Sean, but I have a question for a light novel historian.
Me? Okay.
Oh,
Yes, for you.
you're getting put on the
Can you
spot.
can
All right,
can you
fucking
please
bye.
what? No, get back. I'm okay. So I'm LARPing. I didn't watch ReZero in dub. I only watched it in subtitles because like Subaru voice in the dub is pretty good, but everyone else I don't know. They just sound weird. That's why I only watched it in subtitles. Okay, so
Okay.
Light Novel Restaurant, can you please show me your shelf back there?
Oh, okay. I feel like you could ask me another time. I stream like every day. I'll show you another time. Yes.
Oh my god.
Just
Okay,
ask
so,
me
I'm not-
later today or tomorrow. I'll be streaming today and tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean I think I watched a lot of videos, but I've never seen your shelf.
I mean, a lot of it was just like, I mean, it's like the okay, quickly ReZero books like Mushoku Tensei, like Mono,
Yeah, I know. I
like
can see.
Sesbihiro,
I
like
can see it, but it's blurry. It's blurry. I can't.
yeah, because there's autofocus.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I feel like
Okay,
for
so
this Q&A, we should
another
keep
thing.
it
Another
about
thing,
Sean.
like when
but...
you make the short videos on like any platform, can you like actually like when you say before the spoiler warning, you literally say the main topic of the spoiler, then you say spoiler warning. Everybody gets spoiled by that. Can you please stop that?
What's
I
what's an
didn't go-
example?
a bit-
What's an example?
like, for example, in Arc 10, when you said they're gonna hunt Subaru down, then you said spoiler warning, and then you explained these things. Like
I like to keep my spoiler warning vague enough where like people won't know what's happening, right? If they don't have context, right? So
Yeah,
like,
but
who is hunting
it's just,
Subaru down? It's like,
it's just,
okay, yo, like, I think we should keep it about Sean. If you have like, if you ever complaints with me, we can discuss it another time.
oh,
But
okay. So, do you guys think I should watch ReZero in dub just because for Sean? I've only
Yeah,
watched it in
of course, man.
I've never watched any anime in dub, only subtitles. But I've
See,
seen a lot.
I'm so
Yeah,
against this whole dub versus sub thing. Just watch
No.
both. Why
yeah,
not watch
Yeah.
it both times? You get to experience the show in a whole new way.
Like I've seen clips of Sean, like
Sean's disappearing.
saying a
you've
lo-
made Sean
yeah,
leave. Okay,
I'm
yo,
sorry. Okay, so I've seen a lot of clips of
Oh,
Sean
it's Lux
say,
Red.
and saying like a lot of lines, and they're actually pretty good. But when I tried it, the other characters just sound a bit weird for me because I got way too used to subtitles. So I think after this, I will probably watch ReZero and dub.
Go for it,
all right,
man.
yeah.
All right.
What the hell is ReZero?
Alrighty. Yeah, what's that about? I can't believe someone came up here to ask a story in a question.
Like, what is the point? Like, they could ask me questions any other day.
I was gonna say, aren't you live like literally every day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like blew out the light on this because I was showing stuff in front of the camera. Although I discovered a sticker in the process that I
Oh,
didn't even
nice.
know I had. So yay, go me.
There you go.
Oh, fix the
Only
camera.
Luxray had good physical attacking electric moves.
All right, I think we have time for one more actual question, and then we
Yeah.
should probably show the art, and
Yeah.
I should vocally recover because I still have 2 sessions today.
Alrighty, who's our last question for today, Pandora? Bring somebody up.
Oh
What do we got
my goodness. I did not expect I was going to be the one.
You are the
Alright.
one. You're the last one.
Well, you are, so let's hear it.
All right. First off, hello, Sean. I really like your work. And for the question, in episode 3, season 4, Subaru says, "If there's gotta be whipping between me and a woman, I'd rather be the one who's getting whipped." Do you feel the same way?
What's a final question? Oh my god.
Oh, what a question. I love that. So I think I'm very basic. I don't like pain. I don't like bruises. I think the most violent thing I'm okay with is that my wife is the type who likes to bite to show affection. So she'll be like, I'm a bite. I'm like, okay. And she'll be like, like on the arm, not actually drawing blood or something like that, but she's cute like that. I would say, of the phrase, because what is the quote? He says, if someone's going to be getting a whipping, I'd rather I'm the one being whipped.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I think it was in response to Reed.
Yes. I do agree with that. If it is between me whipping someone or someone whipping me, I think I would be the one to take on the burden and go, I do not want to be responsible for whipping someone. I'm scared I would actually hurt them. Like, if there was someone who was like, I want you to do this, I would be like, I don't think I'm comfortable with that. I'm sorry. I agree with it,
I thought it was
by the
Reed.
logic of his statement of,
Didn't he
I
say
would
something
rather
about, like,
that I'm
whipping?
the one being whipped. So that's a good question. That's a really good question. I'm trying to think, have I been involved in anything like that? No. I'm genuinely thinking. I think the worst that I've done is like having your wrists bound, but it was part of like a demonstration. So I'm boring as fuck.
Alrighty then. Well, I think it's time to look at. I think we had a couple fan arts here at the end of the slides that we wanted to show off. I think that I saw one of them. I don't think I saw the other one. So let's take a look. Right off the bat, at last we have a few artworks made by the r/ReZero team. Shout out to Treasure Lol and hope I'm saying that right, and Lemon 4.0 for making artworks. We've got Sean looking super chibi.
Wow, I actually look cool for once. Thank you. I appreciate this. I want to put this as my headshot on my next convention banner solely so that someone can look at it, come up to the table excited to see me, see what I actually look like, and do that kind of, oh,
Okay, yeah, I like that one for sure. And then I think this is the second one that we have here. Oh, wait, we've got historian art too.
I look a little similar to Sean.
I
it's nice.
hope it's artwork
And
with a
then,
shelf.
and then here we have an art of all three of us. Now I can't help but notice that one of my key features is missing from this art.
Forget
my
Deep
luscious facial
Space.
hair.
Forget deep or what's that visual novel about, like Love Space 9 or whatever? Fuck that shit. This is the new visual novel right here. Return by breath, baby.
Sean Renner historian art.
Three guys, three bachelors, all
my
take your
profile
breath
picture.
away. This is the new date. Yeah, Love in Deep Space. This is the new visual novel right here. Make that shit. Make it. We've got the three quintessential dateable millennial guy outfits. We've got hoodie, we've got sleep pants, and we've got loose t-shirt. Let's go.
I'm not a millennial. I'm sorry. I'm only 24, man.
Ah, damn it. Okay, fine.
Okay, yeah.
23.
What? Well, what? Millennial, Zoomer, and Gen what? Gen Alpha?
We're both. I think me and historian are both Gen Z.
Yeah, older Gen Z. I think.
I know, but
2003?
Ellen has.
We're both
Ellen's got
older
the shelf.
Gen Z.
I think
I was
they
born
need
in
to be-
2001.
I think
Oh, he does have.
I have the what?
The shelf. The shelf.
shelf?
Gives him a point in the millennial category.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you guys for these artworks. Yeah, I think this might be like the first time I've ever like actually had someone draw fan art of me, despite the fact that I've been doing content for 4 years.
Yeah,
So that's pretty cool to
On
see.
shelf. That's so
Okay,
funny.
well, the interview is over. Apparently.
yeah. Y'all,
So,
thank you so
obviously-
much. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say, obviously, you can check out Sean over on his Twitch and any of his other social medias. Our link trees are also here for you guys to check out if you're interested
Yes.
in Historian's content. Historian basically reviews 90%, like I swear 90% of your content these days is ReZero content. So you guys are definitely gonna love
Yeah.
Historian's content if you haven't seen his page before. I'm a lot more broad. I talk about weekly episodes of stuff that comes out, whether it's One Piece, whether it's the crappy isekai series that are airing this season. I talk about everything. So if you're looking for a more broad spectrum, that's what I've got to add to the equation. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah.
Can I have a few words to just kind of pitch myself, let folks know?
Absolutely.
So yes, I would recommend the two places to follow me would be on Blue Sky or Twitch. Both are under the same username, Sonic Mega, SONICMEGA. I'll be upfront with folks. I have been on hiatus I do try to stream a couple times a week. Try being the operative word because I have actually been on hiatus for several months at this point. That is because, like I said, I'm in the middle of a convention gauntlet where I've been traveling every single weekend for the last 9 weeks, and I've got 13 more to go, or 12 more to go at this point, I believe. I'm even leaving tonight for an overnight flight to go to one of these, and especially the hiatus specifically started because when Season 4 of ReZero began its dub, I did not want to risk blowing my voice out on a stream and then having to go into a session where I wasn't vocally prepared. So I want you all to know, I went on hiatus from stream specifically so that my performance in ReZero could be the best it could possibly be for you all. I mean that sincerely. So thank you for your patience and thank you for allowing me to do the best work that I can do. When I happen to come back to stream, I usually stream things like Etrian Odyssey 5, Trails into Reverie, Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. I'm trying to play through the chronology of the Metroid series right now. It's all over the place. Love to share my love of games for folks, and thank you for those who support the channel. Outside of that, all I'm going to say is if you would like to see me at an event near you, the best way to do it is to reach out to that event and request me, whether that's on social media, whether that's via email, whether that's via their website. Conventions want to know where people or who folks are interested in seeing. That's how they determine who to invite based on fan demand. I have had conventions that invited me because of one person, not an influencer, not anyone particularly, important, but a single person brought me up to a con and they said, let's look it up. And they went, oh, he's native to here. Oh, he's in these shows that our attendees talk about. Yeah, this might be a good idea. And it's one of my favorite cons I've ever been to. So if you enjoyed this, if you'd like to have a chance to ask questions in person, if you'd like to see me in person, your best chance is to go to an event of your choice, find out their contact information, and reach out to them and request me so that they might be incentivized to reach out to my agent. With all that being said, it has been a pleasure. I love the passion that all of you bring to this community. I love all of the passion that you bring to just your enthusiasm in general. I am so, so grateful to be the voice actor for Subaru. I cannot believe it's been 10 years already. I hope I can be it for 10 years more and beyond. Obviously, maybe we'll get a chance to do another interview in the future, but Historian, I want to give a big thank you to you for helping put this together. Renrance, thank you very much. Pandora, thank you as well. A huge thank you to everyone for your patience about the emergency that happened on Monday. As you might imagine, life comes at you fast and it comes at you unpredictably, but I think this allowed us to really get to cover more than we would have been able to otherwise. So really, it's all to be said. I appreciate you all. I hope that I will have good news to share about the dub soon. And assuming I come back, I'm going to go into it with the same gusto and confidence that you all have inspired me with this afternoon. Morning. Damn it, I screwed it up right at the end. I have to start over.
It's afternoon for me, don't worry.
So you can follow me.
Alrighty.
Oh,
well,
right. Go buy Fruit Riot, please. Go buy Fruit Riot. If you don't know, you'll learn. Go follow my Blue Sky.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining us, Sean. It's been a real treat.
Thank
Sure.
you, yeah.
All right. Take care, y'all. Until next time.
Take care.
Alrighty.
All right, folks.
That was how long was
So
that? An hour 15 minutes?
that
2 hours
was
15 minutes.
I was live for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So yeah, that was quite the run. It's time for our post game interview.
So what do we think?
Well, I mean, dude, that was a blast. I had so much fun doing that. I would gladly do that again with anybody who anybody ever reaches out to me and says like, "Hey, let's do this." I'm so unbelievably down. I want you guys to understand that when the ReZero Reddit guys reached out to me to host this, I kind of freaked out because I'll be completely honest. I said this on Monday. I was not caught up on ReZero when they reached out to me to ask me to do this. So they reached out. They're like, "Do you want to interview Subaru's voice actor?" And I was like, yeah, sure. And so I immediately after they asked me, I texted a story and I was like, "Dude, I need you to like do this with me because
I was like, yes,
you know
yes,
way
I'm
more
done.
than I do." So yeah, that was definitely a fun time. I mean, like I said, that's probably the first time I've ever interviewed a voice actor like that. And so that's a special treat for me for sure. And I'd love to do more stuff like that in the future. Soren, you got anything you want to say?
Not much. This was it was a nice Q&A. Like Sean kind of took the reign again, which is good. It makes our lives easier.
Good, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we just had to ask questions and then laugh. That's basically it.
Anyways, besides for that, I mean, I'm gonna end the recording. I'm gonna have all of this archived on my channel.